even get to the end of a read about Austin Rivers without these two going on.
Rachel, this is Ron Garrison. You're not a student of the game, Austin, if you're trying to shake his hand. This is one of the best referees of all time.
Old school.
He come to do his job, and that's it.
That's it.
Yo! I've never seen that one.
Good job, Dave, because Phil left me hanging after he beat them in
This
03.
one, by the way, I love it.
Good job, Dave.
Phil's the worst. I thought Kevin Love would be the worst. But,
No.
Phil's the worst.
Yeah, we've run this. This is one of my favorite clips we run. Make shenanigans. Check out the Sixers dancing.
Yeah, I love
During the sideline report, look at Molly, who is a pro.
Yeah.
And look at what's going on behind her.
I love it.
That's just, I mean, come on.
Every team has a guy that's a dancer, and he forces everybody else to dance.
Oh, there's more than one guy here. Look at Joel.
Al Hansen was our guy.
Man, all right, so good dance moves? Are we?
And look who's leading. Al Hansen.
That is.
Al's leading.
Oh, yeah,
Though. You got
Soldier Boy. Superman.
Superman, that thing. Oh.
good. Oh, yep, here we go.
BD? Yeah. Okay.
See, and again, Molly, pro.
Good time.
Miscoordination late in the Nuggets-Bulls game last night. Malik Beasley successfully rebounding the ball.
Come on.
Successfully maintaining possession.
You lucky you're not playing for Popovich, because I don't care if you have 30. Pop gonna call a timeout and take you out anyway. I promise you, Pop's taking you out.
Yo, I think I'd rather just turn it over regular, like on a 5-second count.
I think it's that court, because we've had 2 of these in 1 week at the Bulls.
At the
one
Bulls?
by the Bulls and then one by the opponent.
We got the Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Don't want to
Gotta
develop
work.
bad
It's
habits.
a Curb Your Enthusiasm like music. It's not the actual Curb Your Enthusiasm.
No. It's not their music.
We cannot afford that.
We'll talk about it off here.
Don't talk about that. Personal space. The other night, Steven Adams had an itch that apparently only Al Horford's elbow could scratch. Last night, Jason Terry got right up next to DeAndre Jordan, and DJ did miss the free throw, so I guess it worked.
Yeah.
Guys do that all the time.
No, hold
Come on.
Hold
You're
on.
telling me
Jason Terry.
you're telling me that was not on purpose from Jet?
No, hold on.
That's definitely on purpose.
It's on purpose. But Jason Terry, you literally did not have to do that. That's
He was gonna miss anyway. He's been shooting them better this year, though. Get off my boy, man. He's been shooting them better this year.
Come on.
Get off my boy.
I'd like to see you do your job with someone in your elbow, armpit.
I'm doing it all the time. You guys always bother me.
I'm 30 for 30. Steven, what if I told you a 32-year-old Dwight Howard would post the first 30-30 game since 2010 when
I
Kevin
posted it on my gram. Congratulations, bro. I've always wanted to play with Dwight because I like him. And, you know, great accomplishment last night. He deserved it.
He's had a lot of real highlights this season.
Yeah.
You got to give him props.
I love Dwight.
All right, I want to give you a stat, though, here. Wilt Chamberlain had 124 30-30 games.
Right.
The rest of the human race combined has 32. What?
We got something we'll talk about off camera.
We had a whole conversation before the show about
I'm up to here on the Wilt Chamberlain off-court jokes because I heard those last night from Chauncey
We
Billups.
talking about straight basketball.
We talked about basketball. It was a serious basketball conversation, but not for TV.
But not for TV. I want to bring it back to Dwight, though, who's averaging 17 and 12 on the season in Charlotte. He, of course, has been a make-or-miss all-star all year long. Are we sleeping on him, Steven? Because, you know,
Well,
he's had a tough time in several spots, and it seems like he is more comfortable here.
I love Dwight. You know, people look at him and look at his size, and they want him to be this mean guy. Oh, dunk, or you scream in your face, pushing people down. He's somebody he has that body, but he loves playing basketball. He's a great guy. He just loves playing basketball.
I don't think the knock on him has been like, oh, he has too much fun or he smiles too much. That might have
that's
been the
definitely
knock.
the knock.
No. That might have been used to be the knock. The reason why I'm saying that is I don't think that that's it for his last couple stops. I think his last couple stops, and he talked to us about this very candidly on the jump, have been sort of how he can get down if things aren't going the way he wants them to go, how the team dynamic has been, how he's engaged at different parts of the court. That has been the knock on him recently.
No, absolutely.
And he seems to have addressed that. I think he gets credit for that.
I think when we say, are we sleeping on Dwight Howard, are we asking recently, or are we talking about over his career?
This year, because this year he has been making active strides to be better.
I think he's hit a point which most stars hit, or almost all stars other than LeBron really, is that you reach a point where like I can get my numbers and still get good numbers, but we're not going to win as a franchise if I'm the best player. And so that's where he's at. I mean, he's still good and serviceable and can help teams win, but he's not centerpiece of a team anymore. And so the problem is he's getting paid in that stratosphere. So a team like, for instance, Golden State, amazingly, Golden State could use a Dwight Howard, but not for Dwight Howard money, for like what they're paying JaVale McGee.
Right.
But that's not where he's at. So it's that kind of transition stage between I was once one of the faces of the league, and now I'm just a good player.
And to me, wherever he goes, he does his job. He got Hall of Fame numbers. He will be a Hall of Famer. Look at his numbers. I mean,
he's a Hall of Famer.
His numbers say Hall of Fame. So to have Hall of Fame numbers, you must have been doing something every year. So he might not be, like I said, from the players, I know a lot of players wish he was just this mean guy. But me, I always wanted to play with him because knowing how I have a big man like Tim Duncan that's going to do his job every night, that's something that a lot of teams never had.
In fact, I think what Rachel was talking about, though, is it used to be, like when he was in Orlando, that's what everyone said.
Oh, he's
They swept us in the first round.
Right.
But I think since Orlando, it's all, and again, it's self-inflicted, so I don't want to make it seem like he's getting persecuted. But the way he left Orlando, and then obviously not getting along with everybody in LA, not with Coach D'Antoni, not with Kobe, not with anybody, right? And then in Houston towards the end, the souring with him and James Harden. Those things are what has hurt his reputation over the last
conflicts.
Yeah, over the last, 8 years, 7 years, or whatever it is. So, but Stack's right. He's a Hall of Famer. It's not even a question.
Yes, I agree. And again, I think all you can ask people to do is try to be better, right? And he has actively tried to be better, both on and off the court in Charlotte this year. I think he gets credit for that.
But that shirt he wore on the jump, man.
I do want to add that the league did announce just about an hour and a half ago, Dwight has been suspended for tonight, so this is how quickly things can turn. 32 and 31 night, suspension the next, because he did pick up his 16th technical foul of the season last night. I mean, that's just how it goes. Maybe he needs some extra rest, right, after that game.
I've been there. Yeah, I've been there.
What's the most technicals you've had?
I know, I came close. I came close a couple times.
Oh, okay.
I came close a couple times, but, I'm pretty sure a guy like that big, every night, I'm pretty sure you're going to get frustrated as much as you get fouled.
Nobody's touching Rasheed
Wallace. Well, clearly, they did not have the rule that you get suspended after your 16th tech. I was going to say, it did not used to be that you got suspended after your 16th tech because Rasheed Wallace never would have played. 41 one year?
Like 41.
Right? 41 technical fouls.
Shout out, Sheed.
There you go. I would just venture to say possibly that's why that rule got made. I don't know. I want to address something a little more serious here. So earlier this week, one of the women who had spoken to Sports Illustrated about some of the truly disgusting behavior that had been going on within the Dallas Mavericks front office decided it was time to speak out more publicly in both a new essay in SI and in an interview with the Dallas Morning News. Her name is Melissa Wysop, and she worked with the Mavs marketing and game operations department for about 4 years. During that time, Wysop says the former CEO of the Mavs repeatedly asked her about being gangbanged. She also describes another one of her bosses trapping her in a car and screaming at her, threatening her with being fired if she pursued any complaints. Now, the specific men involved have denied the allegations, but the overall descriptions of what went on in Dallas don't just come from Wysop, but also from more than a dozen other women who spoke with Sports Illustrated in its month-long investigation. In response, owner Mark Cuban has said he was completely unaware of what had been happening, but that he felt, quote, sick to his stomach over it upon discovering it. He also acknowledged flat out, obviously there is a problem in the Mavericks organization and we have to fix it. He says it is not something we tolerate. Well, Wysop isn't buying that. She says, quote, I think Mark knew. She also says that while the Mavericks have hired an outside law firm to investigate the situation, by the way, I always want to make it clear, they use the word independent investigation. When it's hired by the team, it is called an outside investigation. Those are two different things. In this case, an outside investigation hired by the team. Melissa says she has not been contacted by those investigators. And she says she's spoken to more than a dozen of her former Mavericks colleagues, and she says none of them were aware of the outside hotline that the NBA has set up to investigate complaints individually and on the side. So, about all of that. An NBA spokesman tells me that the hotline is, in fact, in operation. It's being run by an outside national firm with employees trained in workplace issues. So that's a good setup. Teams are supposed to publicize how to use it, and of course, if they're not, that is a problem. The NBA has also instructed teams to educate employees on the respect in the workplace guidelines that they have and run small group sessions with outside specialists to give employees who feel like they're in trouble someone to talk to. Besides the boss who might be harassing them. Now, is all this actually happening? The league office is getting reports that it is. But in some cases, they're getting the reports from the HR directors who were supposed to be the gatekeepers of stopping all this stuff in the first place. So it is a nuanced and complicated situation. It is a difficult matter to navigate. And even for those with good intentions, none of this is going to get solved overnight. That is why it is so important for women like Wysop to keep speaking out, and why the rest of us have to listen when they do. And it is important for media outlets like this one to keep monitoring this story, which is, of course, bigger than just the Mavericks and bigger than basketball, too. All right, we will continue with the show very shortly. I believe we have some more Kawhi Leonard news to get to, which seems to be a never-ending topic here in the NBA. There's more stuff this meeting, a players-only meeting. You are going to want to hear about that.
Look at the bottom.